Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Things are changing though, with more and more female talent making their way into the sport year on year. Ever since the idea of motor racing was founded, incredible and empowering women have always been there and always will be. And in today's video, we are going to talk about 10 women who are making history in F1 this season. Without further ado, let's begin. Christina Emmanuel. Christina knew from a young age that she wanted to work motorsports though. She was surrounded by Formula One. While playing football, her club was based next to Albert Park Circuit. From there, Christina was determined and decided to pursue engineering as a career path. Having grown up near Albert Park in Melbourne, Christina moved halfway around the world, aged 18, to study motorsport engineering at Oxford Brookes University, and later studies a master's at Durham University. In 2018, she joined Alfa Romeo as a computational fluid dynamics development engineer, designing and maintaining the software used in the team's aerodynamic computer simulations. She's also an industry ambassador for Racing Pride, which aims to promote LGBTQ+ inclusion in motorsports. Fabiana Valentino. A long-standing face of the F1 paddock, Fabiana has been a part of AlphaTauri since the Minardi and Toro Rosso days as their senior press officer. Now working with their head of communications, she's the first point of contact for the media. Fabiana also has the challenging task of balancing the team's hectic schedule with constant demands for interviews alongside all the PR activities. It's a tricky balancing act, but one of the most accomplished in the role is Fabiana Valentino, the longtime head of communications at Scuderia AlphaTauri, who has been with the team since the Minardi days. Mine is really a dream job. I am head of communications for Scuderia AlphaTauri, traveling all around the world taking care of everything which has to do with the team's communications. Thompson. Alex studied marketing and management at the University of Adelaide, later winning an exchange program scholarship to study in Singapore, and returned to Australia to complete a postgraduate degree. She then founded her own blog, Alelbeth, in 2013, covering F1. From there, she joined Lotus F1 team as a media and communications intern and then headed to Abu Dhabi to become a social media manager for the Yas Marina circuit. 4 years later, Alex began working for the F1 Paddock Club and went on to launch her own company, Alelbeth Media. These days, you'll find her creating content trackside as Alpine's digital media officer. Bernadette Collins. Following the completion of Formula's student program, but before she graduated in 2009, Collins applied for a graduate trainee program with the McLaren Formula One racing team after seeing it advertised through Queen's University Mechanical Engineering Department. She was initially skeptical over securing the traineeship, but she took advantage of an opportunity to visit McLaren Technology Center. Then, after completing a series of online assessments and tests, after a year of working in GT, Bernadette returned to F1 as a race engineer at McLaren before joining Force India as a performance and senior race strategist in 2015. Promoted to head of race strategy at Aston Martin, she announced she'll be moving on later this season, and we're really going to miss her. Collins secured a place on the program in 2009. Her position entailed rotating departments every 3 months to gain knowledge on each role and inter-team requirements. During her graduate year, Collins transferred into McLaren's design department and worked primarily on the transmission of their vehicles. She also volunteered as an engineer at GP3 Series race weekends in order to broaden her experience. Kinley Lee studied automotive engineering at Tongji University in Shanghai. During her degree, she was a finalist for the Infinity Performance Engineering Academy in 2014, a program that worked with Red Bull Racing. In October 2019, she joined Ferrari and currently works as a senior aerodynamics at the Prancing Horse. Kimberly Hillsden. Kimmy Hillsden has been an integral part of the Ural-Kali Haas F1 team since she joined the principal of motorsport in February 2020. Her multifunctional role sits between all of the departments at the team, which has bases in the US, UK, and Italy. Having recently managed to pit board for Mick Schumacher at the Turkish Grand Prix, Kimmy became a visible figure for women in motorsports. Her main responsibility on a day-to-day basis is the management of product demand and ensuring that's in line with forecasts and budget. Kimmy also communicates frequently with purchasing to get it submitted for quotes and raising purchase recs to kickstart manufacturing. Lucinda Brown. After earning a degree in Public Relations and Business Studies from Leeds Beckett University, Lucinda made her way up to the PR and marketing executive in British touring cars before joining McLaren as a marketing and events manager in 2011. My dad has always loved motorsports. I have very early memories at Caldwell Park with my two sisters sat on the banking at Charlie's with a picnic, watching the classic F1 cars whiz past us. I guess that's where the seed was sown for the future. My first Formula One Grand Prix came in 2000 at Silverstone. I vividly remember standing at Copse Corner as the British racing green Jaguar car of Johnny Herbert screamed past us. The atmosphere, colors, sounds, and passion of the British fans all stayed with me. Stephanie Travers. Accepting the Constructors' Trophy at the 2020 Styrian Grand Prix, Stephanie made history when she became the first black woman to stand on an F1 podium. A moment we love to see. 25-year-old Stephanie, who is the Petronas trackside engineer for six-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton, represented the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team and collected the award on behalf of the team. Originally from Zimbabwe, Stephanie joined Mercedes in 2019, and as Petronas's trackside fluid engineer, she has played a key part analyzing fuel and lubricant samples to ensure that they are in tip-top shape, providing both performance and reliability to the 8-time Constructors' champion. Hannah Schmitz. Fans may already recognize Hannah Schmitz from the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix podium. Her decision to call Max Verstappen in for a third pit stop helped the team secure victory. After graduating from the University of Cambridge with a master's in mechanical engineering, she joined Red Bull as a modeling and simulation engineer. For the past 11 years, Hannah's been a core part of their strategy team, first as their senior strategy engineer and now as their principal strategy engineer. Claire Sibley. As their head of quality and manufacturing engineer, Claire is responsible for the production of parts, ensuring they are up to the standards the team expects, and meet their specifications in an efficient way without wasting extra resources or their limited budget. Claire studied a master's in material science at the University of Cambridge before being offered a spot on Mercedes' graduate scheme, rotating between several departments as part of her role as material engineer. 6 years later, she moved over to Williams in the same role, climbing up the ranks to head of material science to her current position working at the team's factory in Grove. Subscribe, like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.